As we set off to light our fire, I went into the task ignorant. I assumed that lighting a fire was going to be easy and assumed that I already possessed all the knowledge needed to light a fire. The first sign of our struggles was my phone falling multiple times before we could even attempt to light the fire. Both times my phone fell, I refused Andre's help, who was there lighting the fire with me, and refused to acknowledge that I had come unprepared, as I didn't bring a tripod. My ignorance continued as I began to attempt to light the fire. I assumed that lighting some printer paper on fire and throwing it at a pile of wood would be an effective way of lighting a fire. It wasn't. You can see in the video clips that I begin to get frustrated and eventually snatch the lighter from Andre's hand. Furthermore, I began getting mad at Andre that our fire wasn't starting, rather than acknowledging my own ignorance and own unpreparedness. I could have Googled a video on how to light a fire or called my dad for assistance, but I refused, too wrapped up in my own ignorance. Such an experience links to the methodology of liberal humanist individualism. Two key elements of this methodology are entitlement and resistance to change or progress. Through my firelighting experience, I was resistant to new ideas and external help, as I was so convinced that I knew how to properly light a fire. This idea of resistance to change relates to the ICMJE, or International Committee of Medical Journal Editors, rigid structure for scientific papers that was discussed in class. This strict outline for structuring research papers was critiqued by Peter Medawar in his essay, Is the Scientific Paper a Fraud? Medawar argued that the rigid structure demanded by the ICMJE wasn't representative of scientific research, as it was too linear and eliminated the intuitive and creative elements of research. These two texts demonstrate a clash between a liberal humanist individualist mindset by the ICMJE and progressive mindset by Medawar. This clash is somewhat reminiscent of my firelighting experience, as Andre was urging me to call my dad for help, but I refused to change my mindset. This overall theme of ignorance I exhibited throughout this process connects to the situation I am in right now in the research process for my term research project. When I initially saw the outline of our research project, I was ignorant. I thought the project was going to be easy and that I wouldn't have to spend a lot of time on it. However, when we did the library article searching in class, I was overwhelmed and came to the realization that I had underestimated the difficulty of such a project, just like how I underestimated how difficult it would be to light a fire. Although this firelighting experience may not have been the most positive thing I've experienced, it gave me valuable insights into my own flaws as a researcher and problem solver. At times, I'm a very single minded person who tends to believe problems can only be solved my way. This experience shows that this is very much not true, and that often in life and in the research project process, it's okay to ask for help and okay to look at problems differently, like what Medawar urged in his essay, as using a different method to solve a problem or to research can help you avoid getting stuck, like how if we would have called my dad for help, we may not have been stuck with an unlit fire. Furthermore, I've learned to never underestimate a project or task, as both lighting a fire and our term research project have revealed that they are way more work under the surface than they initially appear to be.